I'm a fan of fantasy, so I listen to Easy and Alan on their Just a Fantasy Fan podcast. During the show, you can live chat with Easy and Alan at lennymelnickfantasysports.com. Rumour has it, Lenny only swings one way, with Launch Angle. Now here's Easy and Chris Allen.
And I'm Easy, and that's Chris Allen. And yes, I have to learn to quit listening to these shows before my show. I forget to mute their show, and then I hear me twice. And I mean, I'm worth listening to. And I'm now being told, I'm used to the wife telling me I'm staticky all day, and now I'm being told I'm staticky on my microphone, and But hey, I'm only here to welcome everyone, and then I'll shut up. So welcome to Wednesday night, 10 o'clock, LennyMelnickFantasySports.com. The Legend Sports Network. This is a fantasy fan sportscast where we talk whatever we decide to talk about. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. I think we got some sports news over the past week, and best ball drafts are coming and going. So I mean, there's a decent bit of fantasy football action, and now with and there's also a decent amount of sports action in general going on. So I mean, it's been a good week.
All right, and we'll get there. I told you before we started, I had minimal stuff. So we do always seem to kill an hour.
An hour plus. What are you talking about?
Plus. Right. And thanks for Brian bringing us in. The Mets 360. I know they were having a little bit of audio problems. I felt bad that I came in late and didn't tell him ahead of time. So if anyone's out there in chat room land at LennyMelnickFantasySports.com and and can only hear one of us, hopefully you can hear Chris because nobody can. If you could just answer questions and people will decide what I asked, and that would probably be okay. And that was the problem. I could tell Brian was asking a question and I would hear his guest give the whole answer. I'm like, man, I wish I knew the question. That was a good answer, even though I didn't know the question. So, made it kind of fun. But that is nice when you have a chat room out there and you're live that you do get usually somebody out there will, give you a little bit of feedback if there's a problem or whatever. So, we'll go with that. But yeah, let's start with, because like I said, I got a text last week that someone goes, I'm doing a best ball draft, and I think your expert is in the same draft with me. And it had to be Cha-Cha. So I don't know if his name was Cha-Cha in the draft. I know he has been recognize that. He has been in the chat room multiple times during our shows. Because he said, wasn't Angle also in this draft?
Yes, yeah. The King,
Scott Angle, the King. Now the King, Cha-Cha and the King have played in the league together for a long time. They have.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they Cha-Cha and the King. They've done things together for quite a while. He actually was a big caller on his Sirius satellite radio show for years when they had the morning show there and all that. So he said it was a pretty good group of people. But I said I just out of the blue I get this text that and then he goes, and I think again because I text you because he said something like he took Gurley and 2 running backs to start the.
Oh yeah.
So I was keeping tabs on. You see, we have followers now, Chris. You've got to be careful out there.
People are they're keeping tabs on us, and they're stalking us.
Right. See, now I don't think they would. I think if they were in a draft with me, they wouldn't tell you because they would go, it's just easy. There's no big deal. I think he was looking for tips. I think he was looking for me to feed him something. I said, no, Chris is repping our show. I'm putting all my eggs in one Christopher basket. So,
oh my goodness.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down. But who did you? You start out with Gurley, and then
Gurley,
I'm trying to think. Chubb. Okay, right. Chubb. So Chubb in the second round, and that's where you're going, right?
I thought, given where the rest of the players had gone, prior to him, I thought he was a good value at that point. I'm not really worried about Kareem Hunt at all.
Okay, and obviously best ball. I think that makes it a little different in some cases. So. Did you, because we talk about this right now with baseball drafts going on, did you go in with my famous air quote, did you go in with a strategy of running back, or it just fell that way?
It just fell that way. I figured, at least for the very first round, there was no way that I was going to get around drafting.
What pick did you have? Where'd you get Gurley at?
Actually, I can pull it up right now. I believe I was pick 3. Yes, pick 3.
Okay, so in the third spot. All right, yeah, pull it up. I'd be curious.
The first 3 picks, it was Saquon at 1.01, Christian McCaffrey at 1.02, and then I took Todd Gurley at 1.03.
Where'd Elliott go? Where'd Zeke go?
Zeke actually fell all the way to 1.06.
So you took Gurley over Zeke. I think they're tight, but I'd struggle with that myself.
I still think that given that the offense during the regular season, the Rams are better than the Cowboys.
Okay, but I think, unfortunately, the way the running back situation ended, I don't know. I worry more about Gurley right now. Because I'd assume, and you know me and my memory, the guy they picked up that was, CJ. CJ Anderson. I'm just assuming the way CJ Anderson, obviously did. I'm assuming he'll be in camp when they start, and I'm assuming he'll be a part of their offense. I don't know. I have Zeke right now as my number 1. Period. Because I just being this early, I just don't see a path to him not getting the big workload. And like I said, I understand Gurley, but I see a little bit of a little chip in the wall that scares me right now. I'm not saying it will happen. You know what I'm saying? But right now that chip in the wall is not at Dallas. Right now it is 100% Zeke's game. Obviously after the draft or other things can happen. But I would still, that's why I originally had Gurley over Zeke. But now after the last few games and CJ Anderson, I kind of swapped them there. But so
I think
I had someone say they got Zeke in a best ball in the 7th on the 7th pick. And I'm like, I do not see. You're even saying what, 4th or 5th pick Zeke went? I mean, even that seems.
He went 6th overall. And let me pull it up again just to confirm.
Man, maybe I need to start playing best ball. Maybe I'm missing
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, the first 6 picks it went Saquon, CMC.
Saquon Barkley. How do you take Saquon Barkley, a rookie? He had 1 good year. I get that. We've had that argument already. I mean, that's my problem with him. He's not proven where Zeke is. So there's no way I'm taking him over Zeke. And then who was second?
Christian McCaffrey.
I'm assuming PPR then, right? I mean,
all best ball leagues they're PPR.
Right.
Well, take that back. Not all. It depends on the platform.
But right now, Zeke, the second half of the season, Zeke touched the ball just as much as McCaffrey. Zeke was getting passes, and obviously, all that. So I don't know. That'd be tough. And then you obviously went Gurley 3. Where'd Cha-Cha go? Where's Cha-Cha on this?
I don't know what his name is.
Oh,
so if I knew what his name
was.
Now
that I think about it, he might have got Zeke. Now I think maybe he's the one that told me. Who picked Zeke? What's the name?
War Machine.
Well, that does sound like some dumbass name that he would have.
But look at this. Patrick Mahomes went at 1.04.
That is ridiculous.
I know.
That's stupid. But to me, now that being said, in my opinion, not much stupider than taking Barkley 1. Both of them only did it 1 time. Neither one of them have been proven. Now, and quarterbacks need more obvious because there's other value somewhere else. But my argument would be, I would much rather have. And again, I know you didn't do that. I mean, I do like what you got better. I like, your combination better. And I don't even know what the guy got to go with Barkley, but it can't be better than you having Chubb and Gurley.
Barkley, the guy on the 1.01 position, he went Barkley Evans as his 1-2 combo, and then flipped around and got Dalvin Cook in the 3rd, which I don't think is bad.
No, that's not a bad start.
That's a fair start.
But in my opinion, the difference could have been he could have had Zeke and those other 2. Technically, obviously, he could have had Gurley in the other 2. To me, those would be even better starts. I don't know. And I get it. I get it. People can tell me, and that I'm wrong after the end of the year. And I'll understand that. It's the first round. And just taking a chance. I'm not willing to gamble my first round pick. That's my problem. And I've had that conversation, I want as solid as a pick as I can get. And to me, reaching for a rookie, a second-year guy that did it 1 year with offense is changing again. Do we really even know what the quarterback situation there? I mean, to me, too many questions. Right now, Dallas, I don't think has any question. Is there a question right now in Dallas anywhere on the offense? I think they're pretty well set.
The tight end position, they still need to figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah, but they didn't even have one last year. So
if they bring in one or they draft any of these, any of these rookies. I mean, a lot of the rookies that are this tight end class is supposed to be fairly good. We're talking about Gronk level type replacements that are supposed to be coming out of the tight ends this year. And then also with the receivers, they have Amari Cooper already, and they have Michael Gallup, who's also ascending. If they find a third or a slot wide receiver, whether it be Cole Beasley or Allen Hurns, whomever they wind up keeping because of cap space and whatnot. I mean, so if they get their wide receiver group in order as well, that could take away from Zeke's reception total. And that's really what boosted him in 2018. So if there's any hit to that, Zeke then becomes basically what he was in 2017, where it's mostly running. He gets, let's say, 40 targets. He doesn't get I believe it was like 70 targets that he got this past season. So, I mean, there's a path to him being what he was in 2017. But I do agree with you that it seems less likely given the way that the Cowboys have typically run their offense and typically how they've valued their picks.
All right. So I just tweeted Cha to see if he's the war machine. Again,
okay.
That does seem like something that he would be.
That is him. His squad is pretty solid, to be quite honest.
Oh God, I don't want to hear that. See, right now we're in the middle of baseball stuff, and he just got me. He just got me, in some high dollar. Me, I don't even. Baseball is my second deal, but now I'm in some high dollar baseball league. I'm just donating money.
No thanks.
I know, but I can't talk bad about him because then he'll trash me, on the other side.
Right.
I've gotta try to do my best. I gotta represent the show.
Well, of course. I mean, you have to make us look good for baseball, and I'm trying to make us look good for football.
Right, but football. I only know baseball that it's fun. That's it.
I dabble in football. How about that?
You dabble. I saw your dabbling last year. But like I said, if he gets back with me here, we'll find out. Because I think now you say that, I think he said he got Zeke at like the 6th or 7th pick, and I was like, that's ridiculous.
Then that is him then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. So, I mean, he went. If that is him,
he just texted me back. That is him. So
okay. Well, then he went Zeke, and then he got Mixon in the second round, and then he got Keenan Allen.
Zeke and Mixon. Obviously, that's not bad. Again, I would put both of those a hair above. I'm not knocking your picks, so it's early.
It's February. Again, that's why I really don't take it too much to heart. It's February.
Well, yeah, you know me anyway. You're not going to take anything I take. I say for as like the round table last week. Somebody got all pissed off, and we had the big ruckus because someone.
You told me about that.
Bad mouth somebody's draft. And then last night we got into it because I'm not a draft shower. I'm a grower. Okay. I'm a grower, not a shower. Yeah. I once my draft is over, I don't care who sees. I don't want people to see. I don't. You can't help me anymore. I don't. At that point, only a couple things happen. Someone fluffs you a little bit. Hey, great team. What a great pick. Number 7 was. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Or they stick it to you in the rear end. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like, what were you thinking? That's the dumbest. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? So nothing good comes, in my opinion, from showing off your draft after the fact.
No, not on Twitter. No, that's
not on anything. Not on anything.
Private chats, Slack channels. People can give.
But even then, Chris, I know you, and you know more than me, so I get it. That if I showed you my draft, you'd give your opinion. But my problem is your opinion doesn't help me anymore at that point. I would much rather get your opinion in the middle of the draft, meaning, hey, it's a slow draft and this is my choice. Should I take Barkley or Zeke? That's when I need your help. That's when you can make a difference. critiquing my, yes, he's in the chat room now. The War Machine is in the chat room.
But especially with when it comes to best ball is not. It's not for the people that are only going to do one or two.
Right,
a lot of best ball people.
Right,
it's about volume.
Sure.
So that's where showing your draft can be useful, because people might say, "Well, I think you might have taken too many running backs, or you picked them too early, or maybe this guy over that guy." And then so for the next one, that's where that can be used.
We've done this too long now. We talk. That's fine. People, we can talk about everything we talked about a year ago. No one was listening then. Yeah. But, the issue is I'm not a diversified, meaning a lot of my football teams look alike.
You like your guys.
Because I like my guys and I like my value. So if I get the value, I get the guy. That's my thing. Now, maybe this year I'll get into best ball. Best ball seems like an area where diversification is more important.
It's critical.
I would accept that, meaning you're going to play, if you're going to get in 10 or 20 of them, you probably should have 10 or 20 kind of variance teams.
Yeah.
Because there you are spreading out. I know how most of those pay out. They're high, they're top heavy, you want to win a couple to pay for all of them.
Right.
So yes, you want to spread out a little bit. So I would go there. So yeah. So to even mock or talk bad or criticize the crappy War Machine team is really meaningless. Back to what I just said. If someone just shows you that lineup and you don't realize, well, that's one of 30 best ball leagues, then again, you can't even critique it because now it doesn't even matter. If it's the only best ball team, draft you're in all year, then yeah, maybe someone can critique it. But again, you can't help me or change it anymore. So why do I
for that draft? Yeah.
Right. So who's the chump using all 8 hours every pick? So this is a slow draft.
Yeah, so it's an 8 hour one.
How many picks are you in right now?
We're in the 9th round, I think. I made mine. Yeah, we're in the 9th round right now.
You're not the one slowing stuff down, because when we have talked about people on this podcast before that bitch and moan about slow drafts, Cha is exactly the one I'm talking about. So he gets mad when I make fun of him because he is impatient as hell and he hates everyone who takes more than 1 minute to make a pick. So I would recommend to piss off the War Machine. Take your time, Chris. Take your time. You have my permission.
Gotcha. But I like to be the guy. I just wait for the email notification that I'm on deck. I'll pop in, see what the board looks like, look at my team,
pop out, whatever,
make my pick, and then roll out. I don't hop in the chat rooms, or I don't really talk too much in the chat rooms or anything like that, because especially come summertime, I'm doing like 6 or 8 of them at a time. So I just pop in, make my picks, roll out. That's it.
Right. All right. Now, who else is in the league? Now, how'd you get the invite, or was this a fan tracks group of people that got involved?
For the most part, I think it started shortly after Scott joined the Fantrax crew.
Okay, right.
So they opened up a room for him. They put it in our Slack channel for Fantrax. So there might be a couple of guys that write for Fantrax also in there. And then Scott posted it up on Twitter and then said, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. Everybody join in." So like a few other people also joined in. So I'm assuming that's how Cha got in.
Right. Cha knows people, whatever, but now like I said, I'm in a baseball league with Cha now. And I think Cha, I think you invited me to this other 20 man. He's got now some 20. I learned with football last year, I can only put so many holes in the water. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm going to have to be careful, especially at baseball where I'm not quite as good. I'm going to have to be careful. I don't want to spread easy too far and let the show down. I don't want to finish at the bottom,
Oh yeah.
And hey, I got plenty of room on the green screen for a picture of my trophy.
Well, of course.
We're going we will have to have trophies up there. So, that'll be important. But we're glad Cha-Cha did make it into the, into the chat room. Since we were talking shit about him, I think he decided to, pop in. But that's it. Chachi, I'm either easy kill or I'm a fantasy fan, on all the websites, because I don't know. Now, how did he know you? Are you just your name then?
Yeah, my Twitter handle is my username. So I try to make sure that if anybody, because like say for instance, especially when it comes to best ball, so it's an 8-hour clock. Right. So let's say that you're the one that's holding everything up. I would like people to, they can shoot me a Twitter message at Chris Allen FSWX.
Not only that either, it's back to, hey, like I said, we have an audience now, our 60 or 70 loyal listeners.
Yeah, they know who I am.
It would be now, if me and you were going to do this, I definitely want to make sure, I've switched all my logos to be our logo. I use my name, either Easy Kill, because now no one even knows, on the round table last night, when the guy's been on like 4 weeks, he finally went, because he's starting a league. And I said, well, shoot me an email. And he goes, I don't even know who you are. Right. They know my name's not Easy Kill,
yeah.
But in the chat room, they all call me Easy. It's just easy to, hey, Easy, you want to be my league? Hey, Easy, but I'm definitely going to be Easy Kill, or I am a fantasy fan, meaning I use my Twitter handle as my name.
Yeah.
Which I think most people should adapt. Make it at a fantasy fan. That should be your team name. Then someone can quickly look at that. Most intelligent people these days see the @ sign and that would go, okay, I could DM this guy or follow him and get information. So,
I think that's the way people should do it. I mean, because if you want, especially if you do content like we do, because if you want people to interact with you, or that you want people to hit you up and be like, "Hey, I like this pick" or whatever, right? They should know how to contact you somewhere outside of the league.
Okay, especially if you're going to put yourself out there, like me and you do. I mean, it's like obviously Cha-Cha quickly Cha-Cha knew it was you. He told me you'd already picked Gurley, and then a little bit later I got the text that you picked Chubb.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have known that if you weren't using your name. Now, but that's my problem with Cha-Cha. I don't know if you'd have put that together if the name in the chat if his name instead of War Mongraler or whatever the hell he went by.
War Machine.
Yeah, whatever. War Machine. But is it War Machine? I'm trying to think.
That's the Marvel character.
Huh?
That's the Marvel character.
Okay, I know what you're saying, but also isn't there a something machine in the Longest Yard movies?
Oh.
Isn't there a character something the machine or War Machine or something? Because the name of the team is the Green Machine. I think in the original there's a Green Machine because the whole crowd's going Green Machine, Green Machine, Green Machine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Burt Reynolds in it? The original,
I think Burt Reynolds is in both of them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did it. He was a part of the one with Adam Sandler.
Okay, DK. See, the chat room's popping off. Right,
Mean
Machine. I don't know why I was thinking Green Machine, but Mean Machine. What DK Luce keeps me too damn honest. That boy knows everything. Now he's saying Mean Machine. Right, Mean Machine wasn't Green Machine, and that was the original. And I think that DK Luce, that was the name of the team, right? The Mean Machine, if I'm not mistaken, because I think that's what the cheerleaders. I don't know what the name of. I saw the first one multiple times. I've only seen the newest one maybe once the whole way, and then maybe I've seen them, a few minutes here or there because it's on or my kids watch it. So yeah, it is Mean Machine because, like I said. Black jerseys because he steals them from somebody. I'm pretty sure. I think Reynolds steals them. But that's the Mean Machine. So Cha-Cha is just the War Machine, which you're saying is a character unlike Cha-Cha. So
correct.
But my point would be Cha-Cha is the one who bitches all the time that we don't pub ourselves enough. We're not pushing the website. We're not, at a minimum, the name of his team should have been Lenny's Bitch or, Lenny's Little Bitch or, Section 8 or Cha-Cha. I mean, Cha-Cha, come on. I look up to you and then you let me down by joining some, expert best ball league, and he doesn't even use his name. Now, is Scott Engel uses? I would assume Scott Engel pubs himself. I'm assuming Scott Engel used his name.
Oh, he used the King.
Okay,
that is
right.
Scott.
So,
I'm assuming everybody knows Scott Engel as the King.
Right. I would if I'm in a draft with the King. I might question it at first. Now, if I'm in a fan tracks and I start seeing everyone else in there, I'd go, okay, that's Scott Engel now. But yeah, some random home league, I would go the King. That's just
who the heck is this guy?
Some Elvis
apparently, everybody knows Scott is the King. Apparently,
right. I would get that. So, okay. Cha-Cha said he just joined to support Scott. So yeah, Scott needs your support, Cha-Cha. But change your damn name to Lenny's Little Bitch so that we get a little pub out here at LennyMelnickFantasySports.com, the Legend Sports Network, where you can catch me and Chris every Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. Right. And we pub ourselves. We're not. And actually, I get in trouble. I'm the one. I never take a second to say how you can find us. I even forget at the end. I think I usually let you say something at the end about your Twitter, and then I don't even do shit. So now I don't know if you can.
We talk about it
sometimes.
A little bit. It comes organically throughout most of our conversations.
Oh, it comes organically.
Oh yeah,
that sounds like something that Mr. Kraft would have said at a massage parlor.
Oh, that is true.
It comes organically.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that is not on my notes because it was going to be too easy for easy.
Yeah,
but I'm sorry. I don't even think. I think a massage parlor has to have a big sign that says, "Do not ask about happy endings," period. Because even joking, I think it's like saying bomb in a movie theater. You cannot say happy ending at a massage parlor. I don't care if it's a spa at the Hilton. If you use the word happy ending,
probably not a good thing.
No, I think free speech stops at happy. You just have to go in and say, damn, I'm happy. Yeah. I'm so happy right now. I hope this never ends.
Yeah. And even that might get you the side eye.
Right. Right. It's like you can't even pretend, in an airplane. You can't say, I'll have a kamikaze. You can't, there's just drinks you can't order.
Right.
How about massage by penis? I'm not sure that should be said either, but I'm not sure that needs to be on the side. Yeah. I think if you're saying that word, I think if you're going there, that you're kind of, you're already. I'm just saying, you should not use happy or ending at any. I don't even care if it's an Asian nail place at the mall. You probably shouldn't say
not a good look.
Happy ending. Right. After the pedicure, I sure would love a happy ending. I think could get you,
Yeah, don't do that.
And it's a misdemeanor. I have seen tweets and been on chat rooms and listened to things where these people are talking like he's going to prison. He's sure, he might lose 4 weeks in his stadium during the season or something like that or whatever. But it's just a misdemeanor, meaning it's just barely a parking ticket. So
pretty much,
the whole thing's a little crazy. And he's not the first. I don't know. Is he a billionaire? I don't know where he's at. He's closer to $1 billion than I am, probably.
I think he almost has to be at this point.
But so some people would say, you're at a rub and tug, whatever they want to call them, or a massage parlor. I'm just saying, money doesn't make you always smarter in some situations. So I'm just saying, it's a little unique. But he's not the first rich man to get caught doing something stupid, and something stupid to do with a happy ending. Oof. So I don't know. I give him a little credit. I think being caught in the massage parlor is better than on the street. I think we've had. Who's the comedian? The actor, the comedian who got caught. And he ended up being with a transvestite.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, so Eddie Murphy got caught, but he went on to do more Disney films. It was a big deal for a while. And then we had who's the British actor that he's a little bit older now? Hugh Grant, I think he got. Hugh Grant was dating a Sports Illustrated supermodel and got caught with like some $25, no toothed. I'm just like, okay, I mean, so I don't know what's worse. Someone who has a lot of money that goes to a rub and tug to get a $25 or $50 happy ending, or a famous actor. And they had been dating for like 5 years. I mean, he's like with a Sports Illustrated supermodel, and he's on the street with some toothless $25. That one was a little hard to take. So it's not the third time.
Yeah.
But, and DK, I realize DK saying the word penis, it's just an organ. I get that.
Oh, yeah.
But again, there are places that you shouldn't use some language. And I'm just saying, that's my opinion. I don't think this affects the Patriots whatsoever. Mr. Kraft wanted his balls deflated. That's been something they've worked with in the past. And they'll be fine. I don't think this affects them at all next year. There's no one. There's no one I'm moving up or down my draft spots next year.
It has zero effect on the players. Yeah, none of that has any effect on the players. Business will be as usual for at least for fantasy purposes. It has zero importance.
Right. But it was surprising, right? I mean, that is surprising.
Oh, well, yeah, of course it's surprising to see somebody at least in our world caught up in something that makes world news, or at least
right. Yeah. And it is our world.
Yeah.
I'm adult enough to understand men were pigs. That's it. I've told everyone, my wife understands.
Yeah.
You know what? Trust me, she wouldn't understand at a certain point, but she just understands. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's just things there's things that even money don't. You can't unbreed what's in us in some cases. So, I'm just saying. What's DK saying out there? Yeah, if I have Kraft money, I'm going with a supermodel, not a rubber duck. I'm agreeing with that. I don't even know his marriage situation. I've seen a younger. I use word younger than him. I mean, she's not some 25-year-old. I've seen a fairly attractive younger woman with him for a few years now. I don't know if they're married or not, but I don't know. It was entertaining. I enjoyed that for the afternoon.
Well, I guess the current debate, I guess, is since they caught him on video, if that video is ever going to get released to the public. Now, if that happens, whoo boy, that is going to be
okay. Right now, DK Luce doesn't think he's married. DK, well, you got a second? Google it. I guess.
I didn't think so.
Because my argument would be, if he's not married, other than being stupid, there should be nothing wrong here. Meaning, you know what? I mean, money or no money. I mean, let him do what he wants to do. Obviously, where he did it was illegal. And that's on him. But hey.
Well, I think that the big deal is the fact that it was part of a sex traffic ring. That's what made it a much larger issue than him just getting caught with a prostitute.
But all I know, from what I understand on that though, is they weren't investigating. They don't think he had anything to do with that. He just happened to be at the place where they were surveillancing for that purpose.
I thought that he had frequented that place quite a bit, so they thought he was a part of the ring or whatever.
Okay. See, now I have heard that this wasn't his first trip, but at the same time, I did not think. I've not heard anything. Now, maybe I haven't gone in depth. I have not heard anything where they've thought he was actually a part of the ring, other than when it first happened.
Yeah, that's what I had heard, because to me it would seem odd that the guy, because the day that they caught him on camera, that was the day of the AFC Championship.
Right.
So why would he be in Florida for that when he's supposed to be in a completely different time zone, Kansas City, for the game that evening?
Okay, Kansas City to Miami is not on a jet that's private. Is not that. That's like me and you getting a car and going to Cincinnati. So
no.
yes, it is. Florida to Kansas City's in a jet's what, an hour and a half.
It was like Miami, right? That's like South
Miami,
Florida.
Yeah,
That's South Florida to Kansas City. That is
this
not.
Isn't an Uber he's taking. He's taking a jet.
I know, but why would
This
you
bad
be
boy's
in
got
that particular spot? Why couldn't you just why would you go completely out of your way down to Florida in order to do that? That's what makes me think that these
it's a discounted rub and tug. You don't get rich wasting your money. And you know,
you got to go all the way out of your way in order to do that. That must be really good. I mean, I don't understand that, because that's the part that confuses me out of all of it.
I got you. All right. So it would be better that he's there. I can't imagine he has to go down and make sure that, you know, I don't even know what, so I'd sound racist if I'm not sure what type of person that this place was bringing in, but I don't, you know, he wasn't there to check the sacks coming out of the van to make sure they're the right kind of, you know.
I don't know. But I mean, to me, because to me, it's different than like who was it that got caught? It was like Warren Sapp that got caught with a prostitute shortly after the Super Bowl. What was that, like 5, 6, 7 years ago or something like that?
Longer than that, actually. I think Warren Sapp's been out of the league for 5 or 6 years, and I think they won the Super Bowl the year he retired or the year before, something like that. So,
something like that. But regardless, he got caught with a prostitute, but it was like in the same city where the Super Bowl was being held. It's not like he was, you know, in another city and then went there and then they found out. That
could have been just one of those shit happens kind of thing, you know.
Well, I get it,
right, Judge? I didn't know. Right. You know,
she was there. That sort of thing. That's why, to me, the sex traffic ring portion of the entire story, it lends credence to that.
And I obviously believe that if that part comes out, he's in big trouble. You know, I mean,
they're saying a lot of people were connected to that.
Well, no, I mean, hey, it's one thing to fight dogs. It's a whole nother thing if you're bringing in illegal aliens and
I don't know what the details are.
Oh, I mean, to me, I mean, that's pretty bad. I would think if he's involved financially somehow and knows about it, that, you know, I mean, unfortunately, at that point, it's not even funny.
That's why they were talking about possible jail time for him. And what the league is going to do to him or whatever after everything all the details get released.
I was going to mock draft some baseball drafts. Now I've got to go
figure this out.
Right. I'm going to have to go to Miami and try a bunch of tuggers. And
oh boy,
I'm going to have to tap on some doors, ring some bells, and you know, Easy's got to get out.
I try and stay out of that stuff as much as possible, because that's just, I don't want to get involved in it. I don't want to know about it. I'll catch the highlights, and after that.
Okay, Chris. I got you. All right. I mean, some of us don't want to. I mean, I get it. Your Google history is personal to you. I get it.
I just read what I catch on Twitter.
Rub and tug is like a new tide. Whiter whites, brighter brights. I was getting some rug and tub. You know, I'm just saying that's a, you know, it's a hard sell. I give you that one.
Oh so, yeah, you better not let Mrs. Easy hear you talking about.
She would give me a coupon. You know,
oh my God.
Right. Buy one, get one free. She's like, whatever. We've been together way too long. You know, that you know, whatever it takes to get Easy out of the house. I'm just saying that might be. I think again, it was a unique situation, and now you've made it not funny. You've ruined the bit for me now, Chris.
What?
I was entertained by a rich guy getting a $25 calf massage and turning it into something, and you know, now it's, you know, we've got, I don't know, I'm guessing I'd be, I mean, Filipinos, Cubans, I don't know what maybe they were, maybe he thought they were bringing in cigars. You know, he's like, I said, bring me some Cubans, and I hope I have a happy ending when I get to the, you know, when I get there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll be curious. I would assume if nothing else happens and it stays the way I think, which is just some misdemeanor, he's out 4 games probably, and he stays home and manscapes on a Sunday afternoon. So he looks good for Tom on week 5. And, you know, and that'll be it. Do you think Tom wasn't flying the plane or anything, was he? We don't.
No,
Tom was not there. We do know that, right?
Yeah, he was either at the facility back in Boston, or no, they flew in the night before. I think they flew in the night before. So yeah, he would have been in Kansas City.
Who do you remember the Bengal? Who was the Bengal that got in all the trouble? But that was drugs and everything. That was the night before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I can't remember who it was offhand.
But it's the same thing. You're in a party town. You're in a party atmosphere. Things happen, and obviously he ended up having a lot of drug problems. I wish I could think of the guy's name.
Yeah, I can't remember.
He did have problems, and it went on past that even.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about, but I cannot remember for the life of me what his name is.
And again, he got caught, drugs and women. The whole thing was going on, and it was the night before. I mean, he was told that morning he could not participate in the Super Bowl. So and like you said, SAP, it was after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and it was like the day after.
I think there was a third thing. I think Pac-Man Jones. No, Pac-Man Jones has never been on a Bengals Super Bowl team.
No, this was
Pac-Man Jones came. Decades. Yeah, this would not decades. I think it was late 80s was the last time they were in the Super Bowl. Late 80s.
Well, that's decades.
Okay, all right. I'm an old man. Joe Montana. They were playing against Joe Montana. Pac-Man Jones has done a lot of crazy shit.
He was just arrested yesterday or over the weekend.
I know.
Stuff out in Vegas, I thought.
Yeah. No, not Ickey Woods either. I think it's in that Ickey Woods era. Actually, I think Ickey Woods even came before the Super Bowl run. I could be wrong. So. I'd have to look it up. I know they were playing Joe Montana, so I think it was the late 80s. Unfortunately, we got beat both times in the Super Bowl by Joe Montana.
Right.
Bastard. he should have been at a damn rub and tug. So all right. Again, Chris, I said we had nothing to talk about. We've gone 41 minutes and absolutely talked about nothing. Except something that isn't even on the 4 damn things I had written down. And that's all because you had that's because we were talking about the War Eagle or Cha-Cha and his War Dog or whatever the hell he's, But I agree. All the way back before this, your name should be a name, a contact information, and that your Twitter. None of this, I get it if you're in a home league and you want to make some goofy ass name because everyone knows you anyway, whatever. Yeah. But if you're out and about in a situation, especially where it's, people in the industry, name your name, or your podcast name, or your, I don't know, your damn handle that you got stuck with because you didn't think anyone in this chat room would ever pay attention to who the hell you were. And now I'm stuck with Easy Kill. But that's not a bad name, is it? Right? If you're going to get stuck with something, I mean, I don't know. Now it's just easy. They can't even take the kill off. I've asked. They don't know how. They can't figure out how to even just make me easy. Because I am easy. I guess Mr. Menzel has also lost a job today.
I don't know what the details behind that are because he's completely banned from the CFL. I don't know how he did that.
Right. I have never even. I'm assuming you can, but I don't know. Did he get caught kidnapping women and taking them into Canada as sex slaves? Maybe. I don't know.
No.
But okay, so we don't know but we don't know either, though, right? They just said he was banned.
They just
don't know why he's kicked.
Yeah, he had done something he had done something to void his contract, so it terminated him with the team. And then it was also to the point where even if he were to get signed or gets an offer from another team, the league would reject it. They would override any offer that the league would send him. So I don't know what he did.
Where do we now put him? I know he wasn't a number 1 pick, so we can't really put him up there as far as as being one of the worst picks ever. But he was a first rounder on a team that really couldn't afford. The Browns could not afford really to waste a pick. So where do we put him in the list of some of the worst draft picks of all time? Or I mean,
by recency bias, he's got to be pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean. Is Leak isn't that Ryan? Was it Ryan Leaf? Right, Ryan Leaf, and he the one.
Was he in that class? I forget if he was.
No. He's much farther back, but he was an actual number 1 pick that didn't quarterback, but like 3 games or something. Meaning,
I got you.
And that's back when quarterbacks got paid big money and never played. That's back when rookies got big money. But I think because Ryan Leaf, if I'm not mistaken, was taking the pick before Manning. If I have that right, Manning was picked number 2, right?
That sounds right. Which one are you talking? You're talking about Peyton, or are you talking about Eli?
Peyton Manning was picked second because I think Ryan Leaf went first. So
okay,
and I think in the NFL, most of the time Ryan Leaf's name comes up as the worst.
No, it's flip that around. Peyton Manning was drafted first overall, and then Ryan Leaf was second.
Did you Google it that fast?
I've scraped Pro Football Reference. I have their stuff I have spreadsheets with their stuff everywhere, man. So I have scraped that site completely dry. I have their stuff all over the place. So yes, 1998, Peyton Manning number 1.
Everyone out there listening to a Fantasy Fan Sportscast,
I've got their stuff everywhere.
That is why
Fred Taylor was
That's why Chris is the expert of the show. I am the fan. Chris has the details.
Randy Moss was in that draft. Sean Williams. I mean, there's so many. Charles Woodson. Wow.
So Ryan Leaf was the second pick. And I do think in most list of top NFL busts, he's up there. So
that's gotta be pretty daggone close.
The Bengals had a couple terrible picks that busted too. So
yeah, but then Cleveland went ahead and they drafted Tim Couch.
DK Luce in the chat room is now saying you're the man. DK Luce, I thought I had him in my pocket. Nope. Bam, he's out. Chris is now his man. Whatever.
Yeah, Tim Couch went first overall in 99. That was pretty bad.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's one. All right. Couch was bad. Now, who the Bengals drafted? They had a quarterback one year. Well, we had the running back one year from Pennsylvania. What was the Heisman Trophy winner? He got hurt. He got hurt in the preseason and never amounted to anything.
Right.
But then we also drafted a quarterback number 1 a couple years in that same time frame, and that guy didn't amount to anything.
Yeah,
so they amounted to so little that I can't even
remember who.
Juwan Carter or something like that was the running back.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was gosh, how long ago was that?
I don't know. Back in the 90s when we couldn't draft. Yeah, we were drafting terrible people, and I can't remember who the quarterback is. Maybe that'll come up, but Carter though did like ACL or something in a preseason game. Like the first time they handed him the ball ever in a preseason game, I think is when he tore his ACL.
That's so sad.
Kajana Carter, right? Do I have if I have I mean,
it was 95.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who the quarterback was. Cause again, the Bengals traded up to even get to the quarterback and that failed. So Menzel's got to be up there as far. Now I did find out something this week. Someone I know, her son is into sports marketing, and he's like 17 years old. He's really into it. He does a lot about stuff and all that. And his son wanted to go to the combines. She ended up, there was a combine ticket lottery.
Yes.
You did have to fill some stuff out. You had to qualify, in some stuff, and there's some pretty strict rules, meaning you have to give a name. The ticket is not transferable, the whole thing. She did win her part of the lottery. She just told me like 2 days ago, they notified her like a week before that she had 2 tickets assigned. So her and her son are going, and she even said, I did it for him. I really would have put my husband's name down or something, but the ticket's not transferable. She has to go. So they are going to see the combine. So
what, tomorrow?
She just said this weekend.
Okay.
So I don't know if she's going Saturday and Sunday or both days, or I don't know, but she said
the height and weight measurements, I think those started today. I don't know if I would assume they're probably continuing into tomorrow, because I think they're doing like height and weight checks. I think for quarterbacks, I think is supposed to be tomorrow. And then probably over the weekend was probably going to be the good stuff.
Well, I'm just saying, we need to figure out time, I will talk to her and find out how we need to get our name in this lottery somehow. I don't know how. I do not know. If they listen to the podcast we've done tonight, they'll know we are experts. That we know things. That we are, actually, I'm assuming as soon as you put the word podcast on if they say anything in there about blah, blah, I'm pretty sure if you say, yeah, we have a football podcast. Nope, you're not in. We're looking for just random fans that will keep their damn mouths shut. So we'll probably have to lie, and I'm all about that. I'm good.
Fans.
What's a podcast?
We're fantasy fans.
Right, we're a fan of fantasy.
Yeah, that's it.
Just like Mr. Kraft.
Yeah, that's it. We're just fans.
Right,
that's it.
Right. Just fans. All right.
Yeah.
Todd Van Poppel. What are we talking about? I'm kind of reading now. Linebacker first round bust.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and we've had that argument. The NFL is hard. All drafts are hard. There's a lot of misses.
A lot of luck. It really is.
Right.
It's a lot of luck that's involved.
We can talk about bust, to be honest, a lot more than we can talk about superstars, meaning,
or even just league average hits.
Period. And I'm talking baseball, basketball, and football. It's not a science. And then we'll have fans that will act like, oh, they should have known better. No, every team misses. Every GM misses. Nobody goes through a whole career and goes, I got them all right. It doesn't happen. It's that hard.
There's some that are pretty egregious, like the Tampa Bay GM that traded up and then drafted the kicker Robert Aguayo in the third round.
I will give you that one
was pretty bad.
Okay, but again, we are looking at it after the fact. If he right now was still on their team and was making 99.9 and making 65 yarders, people would be going, damn, that was a good pick. Unfortunately, we're now going, we can agree that it seemed stupid at the time and it really seems stupid now, but it really, because it didn't work out, that's even easier. But that's my point. That's my point. If it, right. No. DK Lucia, I think they've proven, if anything, the weakness Belichick has is drafting. The Patriots have not been great at drafts. They're not horrible, but they're not good either. They have, they don't have a lot of rookies that end up sticking around. They end up trading them a lot of times and getting veterans. Bill Belichick's weakness, to be real honest, I think is, the draft. So, it makes it a little harder. Right. Sony Michel, that's 1 year. But Belichick's been doing it for a lot more than 1 year. So
he would much rather. That's why, for at least,
I agree. And like you said, I think I've actually seen him. I think he's even admitted it's such a gamble. I'm not wasting my time.
Well, that's why they've been fine with just trading down or trading out of the first round and accumulating second, third, and fourth round picks. Because instead of trying to have just one bullet per round, why don't I just have a bunch of bullets and we'll just draft a bunch of guys and see what sticks?
Because the odds are still in the favor of numbers, meaning you're just as likely to have a superstar in the third as you are to have a superstar in the first. Again, it's not a science by any means. So
sure. Kareem Hunt was drafted in the third round. Patrick Mahomes, I thought he went in the second round.
But again, you can even start with this team. Tom Brady was what, 6th round?
I think he is the outlier of all outliers.
Okay, Dan Marino was picked the 6th quarterback in that draft. Again, it's not a science. And that was a hell of a draft. Even the 5 ahead of him had okay careers, but none of them were Dan Marino. So it makes it a little bit harder. But
that's why I think too much stock, is placed in draft pedigree. And I think we as fans, and also it's very much a part of how the NFL works, in that if you are a first round pick, the investment made in that pick then dictates how you're viewed as a team. Like a first round, a wide receiver drafted in the first round, that's the guy that's going to be getting all the reps. And then if a guy that was a wide receiver drafted in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th round, he's going to see limited snaps, but he could be the greater talent. Because we look at guys like Laquan Treadwell, drafted in the first round.
Right.
Kevin White, drafted in the first round.
Well, again, there's a lot of them. Unfortunately, some of them.
John Ross.
There's 32 of them picked in the first round, and most of them we can't name.
Yeah, and that's where I think a lot of there's the assumption of rational coaching where, we want to look at talent. We want to put the most talented players out on the field, and that's not what happens. a lot of it comes down to, well, we're paying this much money for this player because we drafted him in the first round. So damn it, we better get them the ball and make sure that I'm getting my money out of that player. And that's not right. I mean, sometimes, in some cases, that's just not the way that you should go about fielding a good football team or making optimal decisions.
Well, right, but like you said, it's just still a numbers game, though. Overall,
Yeah, I mean, for the draft is invariably it is luck. It really is. And I think a lot of that comes down to even if you have the best scouting department, sometimes those guys don't even make the right decisions as well. I mean, we can go back. I mean, there's year over year. I mean, there are plenty of players that we either miss out on, overvalue, undervalue, and so forth. So it's really hard for us to make the right decisions to value players appropriately.
Right. It's again, it's not a perfect science by any means. So, but that being said, I think I'd enjoy going and watching the media as much as the players. Meaning I just would like to see it all happen.
Yeah.
Hey, next year we're gonna work on this. We are going to work on this, Chris. So maybe or credentials. We're going one way or the other.
I would like to go. I would like to go to the combine. I would love to go to the draft. I would actually like to go to the Senior Bowl.
This year?
The draft this year is in Tennessee. It's in Nashville.
Oh, so it's not that far away.
No, not too far. I was like this close to going, but we've got some other stuff going on.
Oh,
we might have been down there, but things didn't really work out for us.
Is that a hard ticket to get?
That one's also a lottery type thing. Like you put your name in, and
I suck at the lottery. I have never won $1 million.
I never win anything. I was just happy to be in the area.
Wait. You got a thing over there. You've won something. You can point. There you go. Don't say you're not a winner. Don't say you're not a winner. All right.
That was a winner. I was a winner of skill. All right. But the lottery is a winner of chance. I'm not a winner of chance.
Chance. Exactly. All right. Except I went to the grocery store today and my bill was $10. $10 even. I was like, get out of here. How do you? I mean, that's almost impossible.
Right.
Oh well. We were gonna talk about the combine, not just going. I guess we got a few minutes. We already talked last week about some of the big people. What are you? I saw ESPN's going to be showing some of it. Obviously, the NFL Network will be showing it. How long does it go? Is it just through the weekend or does it go all week next week?
I thought it was until maybe March 2nd or something like that. So that would actually only be Sunday, maybe Saturday. So it's got to be, I think it's March 4th. Yeah.
Because I remember watching it during the day at work last year. So, but maybe those were the first 2 days. Because I guess obviously we have Thursday, Friday. Maybe that's when I had it on. So,
yeah.
All right. And we already talked about, we were going to talk about mock drafting in the NFL or mock drafts in general, because a lot of people right now are mock drafting in baseball. And just to get an idea of strategies and how close they are, that we'll push that another week. And the main topic, which we're not going to get to, but I know you could do this on the fly, and we'll do it next week. I want to talk dynasty.
Okay.
Because same thing, because I think it'll fit with the baseball talk. I know right now I was invited to a dynasty league today in baseball.
Okay.
I declined because I'm just not a dynasty guy, but maybe I need someone to sell me on it or whatever. Something else that I need to have on my plate.
That is all the rage right now over at Fantrax. All the guys at Fantrax, most of those guys are baseball guys, and that is all they're talking about over in our Slack channel, and it is killing me. I can pull up right now because they're just talking about who is. Hold on.
While you're doing that, DK Luce out there, are you in any dynasty leagues for baseball? I know you're pretty involved in baseball. Just curious if you do dynasty in baseball, if you're still out there. Because I'm just wondering how many people really do it. I hear it all the time. Here's my problem with it. When you hear things like that all the time, usually you're hearing from people like us that have a microphone. I mean, people who do dynasty are people obviously more active in fantasy because it requires more. So when you hear people all the time going dynasty, in the back of my head, I'm always thinking, oh, but I'm hearing that from people who are in the industry or whatever. I still don't think dynasty is relevant to the average home fantasy fan yet. I mean, no. I could be wrong. I'm sure there are some home leagues that do it. I'm sure there are, because it is a way, if you have a long-term league, that you just, eventually I think you flip it just to keep it more interesting.
Sure.
Okay. The good news is we have not lost DK Lush with all this great intel we've had today. So that's good. He was still out there. And he is not in any dynasty league. So he's just roto and head to head. So, and that's me too. I will do either head to head or roto. I have preference, but I'll do either one. And the same thing in NFL, I'll do, season long PPR. None of that matters to me other than I just haven't got hooked on this, dynasty stuff. Because the number one, all I hear is dynasty. That's like the number one dynasty talk I hear is how great it is. The second most common dynasty talk I hear about is our dynasty league fell apart. Our dynasty league closed
that's one of those things.
I'm looking, or you'll hear some poor commissioner on Twitter going, I'm looking for 4 people to take over some dynasty teams. I'm like, yeah, great.
Yeah, people always have orphans out.
So the number 2 dynasty talk thing I hear is people talking about how their dynasty league is failing. So we'll get into that next week. That's kind of my goal. Unless some other billionaire, owner does something fun I hope not. What do you mean you hope not? We killed a whole 45 minutes of a show talking about Mr.
No, that's true.
Right. We got time to kill. We got like 9 months till the NFL gets back in gear. And unfortunately, our baseball, again, when baseball gets going, I will get more into it. And hey, we are still up to shows. Lenny's got like people writing for all these teams. And I listen to all day long. I get all kinds of baseball stuff.
Right.
So, hey, a little, and I know Lenny's pushing that we all need to talk more baseball and everyone else is, but hey, what can I say?
Can't do it.
Yeah, if we get fired, we get fired. I mean, we were looking for a job and we took this one.
That's true.
Oh, that's true. No, Lenny's given me, I think I have free reign.
Clayton Kershaw, Byron Buxton. I'll mention. How about I just rattle off some baseball players that I hear about?
That's what you're bringing to the table is that 5 people that play the game.
I just named 2. Kershaw and Buxton. That's it.
Right. Well, the big talk in baseball right now is Harper, that one of the top players.
Yeah, the free agent
hasn't gotten signed.
Yeah, I read about that.
Machado did get signed. He's, $300 million. Not bad cash for.
Did you hear about this? The 19-year-old that was being, I guess, a prospect or whatever that I think it was the Jays were looking at picking up. This kid.
No, the Jays have the young 19-year-old.
Oh, they have him. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they already have him. His dad was an all-star. His dad played
Vlad.
Yeah. Glad Jr., Gladmar. I can't even say the name. Now, I'm not good with names as it is. And then
I know.
Yeah. His Vlad Jr. And his dad also played in Canada. Vlad Guerrero, and actually one of the last MLB video games I had, probably the original Xbox. His dad was on the cover. Because like I said, his dad was an all-star. His dad was a good ball player. This kid broke like every record.
They're showing his highlights on ESPN or something like that. It's good.
Whatever. You know how I am with rookies. It's.
I'm just saying. This is
people are drafting this kid in like the 3rd round. It's asinine. Because unfortunately, baseball is a little different than football. Meaning that jump from minors to pro still a pretty big leap. There's been a lot of great superstars in the minors that don't make it. And hey, I'm rooting for the kid, actually. I hope he does it. But at the same time, again, a rookie that early is not going to be on my team. So, we've had that discussion even in football. You know what? Give me a rookie late in my draft, somebody who might pop on or I can cut. I'm not drafting a rookie that early, and definitely in baseball, I'm not going to have a rookie.
Here's another topic for you. So give me your quick take on this. There's a discussion apparently going around for fantasy baseball.
Before you do that, I am proud that you knew a rookie in baseball.
See, Lenny wanted baseball.
Lenny wanted baseball. We didn't know his name. We did it right. Again, DK Lush is our new producer.
This is how we keep our jobs right here.
Oh, wait.
All right.
DK Lush is back on my side. He said he agreed with me that's too early.
All right. Well, the baseball talk helps you out. It gave you the edge.
There you go.
All right. So then what's your take on removing catchers from fantasy baseball? Apparently there's a debate going on right now about removing catchers.
You have, again, the catchers are similar to kickers and all that, and we've had that argument on there. I'm all for the more times people have to make decisions and might make them wrong, I think is good for me.
So there's an edge there.
I think keeping catchers. Now, the last few years, the big deal is 2 catcher leagues. So we take a spot that sucks and then add another one, hoping, I'm fine with it. If I join a league and they don't have them, that's fine. Here's the problem with catchers. One, usually they don't hit well. They're there for one job. They're called the catcher because that's their job. Catch the pitcher, control the game, do their thing. And they also rest more. So, especially in leagues where you set the lineup weekly, your catcher in 6 games, your catcher might sit out 2 of them. So it's hard, so it's a little bit hard, but at the same time, and then I have other people have a strategy. They carry 2 catchers and they rotate them to try to keep a catcher in the game. I have found that's a terrible strategy. Here's why. Catchers are some of the worst hitters. You're better off taking nothing. Meaning if your catcher sits, he's not going to hurt your batting average. He's not going to get you any stats, but he's not going to take away from your stats either. So I very rarely carry 2 catchers. I try to get a medium of the road catcher. I put him in the lineup. I never move him unless he gets hurt. And I don't take up another spot, meaning, but other people you'll see carry 2 catchers and they'll move them in and out and they'll try to, I'm sorry, their stat that one game where they get a home run might be fine, but the next game when you switched him, he strikes out 3 times. There just aren't that many. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a couple of catchers that are very, very good.
I heard was it last year? It was maybe 2 that might be worth drafting.
Sanchez had a bad year last year, but yes, the Yankees catcher hits a lot of home runs. So, that's good. Then you have Buster Posey. Now, again, last year also had not as good of a year, but the nice thing about Buster Posey is when they rest him, he's such a good hitter. When they rest him, he plays first base. So you get to keep him in the game more. So but that's the point. There's 32 other ones whatever that aren't, they're just not very good. And it's not that they're not good. They're good at their job. The wear and tear of kneeling down every pitch, having 100-mile-an-hour baseballs thrown at you, having foul tips and all that. A lot of them, it's just hard to stay healthy. So they get rested more. So, and DK Lush is pretty much agreeing with me. Right. I draft catchers late. And what I do is you hope the one you draft late takes off, or you maybe pick a guy off waivers. It ends up being a pretty good catcher and you just roll with it. So but again, that's my point though. I do see in home leagues of baseball where people carry 2 or 3 catchers because they want to always have one in there. Well, that's a mistake because the catcher's batting average overall is horrible, and they're going to hurt you in that. Most of them don't steal bases because they're slow. Catchers aren't built for speed in most cases. So
sure. Yeah. Knees are probably already jacked up anyway.
There we go. Hey, another 5 minutes of baseball cred right here.
This is how we keep our job.
Here on a Fantasy Fan Sportscast at LennyBeltonFantasySports.com, a Legend Sports Network. Which Lenny's in Arizona at a celebrity baseball draft, and it snowed. He left New York City all excited to go to Arizona to watch some baseball and all that, but the games got canceled and stuff because it snowed. Lenny will be proud of us. Lenny will never make it this far into this podcast, though, DK Lush. Like I said, this podcast is not one that Lenny will stick around in the round table here and there or listen to it later because we talk a lot of baseball in the round table. I don't know. So like I said, Lenny gives me a little, I was going to say some French word there, but I kind of halfway through, I realized I might be asking for a happy ending in French. And I didn't want to do that. But yeah, right. Lenny is sleeping by far. My show's Lenny's already asleep. So, but that's it. But all right, we made it. We filled board again. We cannot make it in an hour. So that's good. And we had no topics tonight. And we did good, Chris.
Saying you were concerned we wouldn't be able to do it.
I'm never that concerned.
I know we do this every week.
We do. That's why we only have one person out there listening. I know we had Cha-Cha earlier, so thanks, Cha-Cha, for letting us trash your couple of picks for a minute and your team name. Fix that though when you get a chance. DK Lush hung out with us for a while, so that's good. We had fun. I had fun. I had a good time. Chris, I don't. You're still no writing yet, right? Nothing posting.
No, I had a piece out last week on Fantrax. Right.
Well, push where people can find your pieces.
You can check me out over on Fantrax, and then you can just check my pinned tweet. Come and follow me on Twitter at Chris Allen FFWX. Check out my pinned tweet, and also I have a link to another best ball league. $10, slow draft, so you don't have to have the huge time commitment. Just hop in, make your pick, and roll out. So we have a few spots left in that draft room. And
maybe here in one of the next few weeks, we need to maybe pub that ahead of time and post a link in the chat room a few times, and maybe then the following week maybe we do the draft. Now are there fast best ball leagues?
They do shorter timers on Fantrax. I believe
we can get done in a few hours though.
No, they don't do any live ones yet. The only platform I think that offers, two platforms I believe that offer live drafts is Fanball and FFPC. Right. I think those two offer live drafts, so you can get those done in a couple of hours.
Because like I said, I'm working on some other software. I think we're going to get close to where I can have a true site up. We can hear it. We can do things, and we actually could do a draft, just to play around. Oh, okay. Obviously, we'd have to get at least 10 guys to fill one, though.
Oh, sure.
So we'd have to pub it a few weeks in a row, but we'll go there. So no, we did good. We made it. So you have writing out there, and I don't know. I know you haven't noticed. I re-linked if you go to our website now, afantasyfan.com or just afantasyfan.com, either one, it now points you to our Lenny Melnick's page. We have our own site on Lenny where it has all of our old shows are posted. Our YouTube link is there.
Yeah.
We're still working a little bit. I'm hoping to maybe get our own little forum thing there where someone could leave us a note or something like that. But we were not doing well with the other website anyway. It was so I went ahead and linked it to our site now. So if you even during the show or even now, we don't even I don't have a problem pubbing Lenny at all. But at the same time now, if you just tell someone, hey, go to afantasyfan.com and you'll find everything. When you get there, you'll find our stuff, and then obviously you'll see Lenny's site. It's all there. So it makes it nice, including our old shows. Everything's there. The new shows, the old shows, the live link, the YouTube. So afantasyfan.com. Our Twitter handles are up there too. So same thing. If you guys want to contact us, just afantasyfan.com. That'll take you to Lenny's website and our page on that website. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for hanging around. I guess it's time to maybe go, happy ending. I'm going to go hunt for a happy ending, and we'll see how that goes in this house. I just noticed my dog's looking at me scared now. You'll be all right. I'll let her know that. Okay. I was just kidding. So, Chris, say goodnight.
This has been Just a Fantasy Fan podcast. And to keep your fantasies going, follow us at justafantasyfan.com. Say goodnight. Good night.